Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Senior Moment. And this is from director Giorgio Serafini and starring William Shatner and Christopher Lloyd and Gene Smart. And this film is about an older gentleman who used to be a NASA pilot who likes to live life on the edge, racing around in his Porsche, and then he gets his driver's license taken away and he has to learn how to live his new life and try to get things back on track so he could get his license back while also trying to get his Porsche back, but also falling in love with a woman who runs her own little cafe played by Gene Smart. And all along you have Christopher Lloyd, who plays his Italian best friend, who honestly is just here having a good time and I'm pretty sure had a fun time getting his paycheck. And he definitely shows that energy at the end of the movie. But besides that point, so this film starts off very much like we're hanging out with the cool older guys who, like William Shatner, still palling around with young women and making really inappropriate, like creepy sexual advances on young women and stuff like that. And from the start, I'm just like, this really isn't vibing with me. I'm not laughing. I'm not finding these things funny. And there's definitely people that will find those jokes feel a little outdated, but they'll find them funny. Probably somebody who's from like a generation where like this stuff was still like okay, or at least not frowned upon. So for me, watching this as like an almost 30-year-old, I'm just like, it's a little creepy and a little uncomfortable, and it set the tone for me to not like this guy. And Shatner is doing his Shatner thing, and he's committed to it, but he's pretty unlikable, and at least for me. And so it was hard for me to connect with his character and actually appreciate him. But, you know, he has some fun with the older crowd in the film, his friends, and he has this interesting relationship that's budding with, like, this young Latino man who he wants a drag race with. And then they find appreciation for each other throughout the film because, you know, it feels really cliched. And that's one of the big problems about Senior Moment is, like, everything feels cliched. There's not a single storyline that feels fresh. And he's having this budding relationship with Gene Smart. And, of course, you go through the ebb and flow of connecting and things are going great and he's able to be himself with her, and then he's like, who's this other guy, getting jealous, and then, you know, she doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. But you know what? He gets everything that he wants at the end and realizes he doesn't need all of it except for her. And then bam, that's your movie. Yep, exactly how you would expect this movie to go. And that's the thing. There are some fun moments, and there's some fun montages of him getting ready to do his driver's test and stuff like that. And that part feels more endearing than some of the other parts that feel really cliched, because like how often do you see in a movie like a person trying to like get their driver's license and try to practice for the test? And those are some fun moments, and it builds up to a nice cathartic, sweet moment with him and his pals, and that's nice. Also, as the film goes on, he does become more endearing and more enjoyable. But for most of the film, I'm just like, I don't really care about this character. And they do turn it around a bit towards the end. So like the end, I felt a little more invested, but a little too late, because you spend most of the film not liking him and not really caring about him. And, you know, Christopher Lloyd's character just pops in, does goofy stuff, and that's about it. And it isn't anything particularly funny, but like Christopher Lloyd has an energy about him that you find amusing. So basically this film is a comedy. I didn't really laugh a whole lot because a lot of the jokes I didn't feel like they were particularly funny, or like I wasn't vibing with the quirkiness about some of the things like Christopher Lloyd's doing. And then Gene Smart does a really fine job in this film, and I feel bad because she has to be like the boring, more uptight approach to the film, because like she's the responsible one and he just gets to be a man-child for most of the film until he realizes things, and like it all works out for him. and perfectly works out for him. So like it's like, okay, where's the lesson here? But in the end, I feel like Senior Moment is definitely going to be a good, enjoyable time for a lot of people of probably an older generation that might connect with this a little bit more and might connect with the humor a little bit more because it feels their pace, their generation. And in the end, for, say, younger viewers, I don't think they're going to get a whole lot out of this. And I think it's mostly because of, like, how the humor is presented and what kind of humor the film goes for. But in the end, it's a charismatic cast. They do a fine job with things, and for me, I'm probably not I wouldn't watch this again, but I'm sure there's a decent group of people that will have some fun with Senior Moment. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.